1, 2, 3, Hawks!
Let's go, Slice!
The Humber College Hawks are one of the top college basketball teams in Canada, winning 4 national titles in the past decade. The last came 6 years ago, but this year they hope to end the drought. The season begins tonight with a crosstown matchup against George Brown College. It's the start of a 6-month drive for a national championship. The daily grind of a long season will exact a heavy toll, physically, mentally, and emotionally. The challenges the players will face over the next 6 months are not confined to a basketball court. All the players are full-time students. Most have part-time jobs. Many have family responsibilities. For young men in their early 20s, it's a lot to deal with.
They have to balance school, work, and basketball. They're very onerous demands. This is the reality, and we got to work around that and still have a very competitive team.
Mike Cates has coached Humber for the past 16 years.
Nobody goes to the board. Don't you go to the board?
He's also an assistant coach on Canada's national basketball team.
Our job is to take people, young people, and turn them out into citizens who can achieve outside of basketball.
Shot! Board! Crash that thing. Crash it. It's a weak side. Go to the glass.
I'm competitive when it comes to basketball coaching. I want to win games.
Don't let him catch it!
Tonight's game doesn't go well. The team never gets into sync. Humber goes down by 9. They didn't expect to lose, especially on their home court.
Hold your shoes, Benny. All right, we got beat tonight. In the end, we got beat. The only thing is that you're not going to win every game you play, and you got to come back tomorrow, and you got to decide we're going to work harder, and that's just the way it is.
Finish? Good. Let's go. Go to the board. Nothing's in till it's in.
It's been 3 weeks since the loss to George Brown. The team has been pushing hard in practice and has won 2 games in a row. They're preparing for next week's game against arch-rival Sheridan College. This year, one of Sheridan's star players, Chris Bennett, has transferred to Humber. At first, Coach Cates wasn't sure if Chris would fit in with his team.
I do respect his play, and he's a winner. But at the same time, he's undersized. He's 6'1". He's playing the post, and he's a little heavy. And you think, well, I'm not sure we really want this player. It turns out that right now he's our best player, so I'm glad he came.
It is unusual for a player to change schools in his final year.
All summer long, I was contemplating, should I do it, should I not? And then I just said, you know what, leave to bigger and better things, and I made the decision to do it. So I wanted the opportunity to play some basketball with my brother.
Chris's brother, Marcel, is the captain of the Humber team. Chris and Marcel are half-brothers. They have the same father, but different mothers. Chris didn't find out Marcel was his brother until he was 13.
My father always used to come for me, and when me and him would go on the road, he'd say, look, there's your little brother. And He used to be a small little skinny guy. I knew who he was, but I'm not too sure if he knew who I was.
They didn't actually meet until a few years later at a basketball tournament.
And I looked at him and I know this guy from somewhere. And
then Chris came up to me and said, who's your father? And I said, oh, my father's Robert Lynch.
Yeah, and I said, guess what, we're brothers.
And I was like, what are you talking about?
Chris and Marcel have played against each other in the last 3 Ontario championships. Chris's Sheridan team won 2 of those matchups.
I want to say I was trying to beat Chris. I'd say I'm trying to beat Sheridan. I don't care who was on the team. I want to win.
Skinny is the heart and soul of the team. It's more than just the way he plays the game. It's the energy and the attitude he brings to practice. He's always pretty focused. He really cares about the team's welfare.
Both Chris and Marcel have won provincial championships, but neither has won the ultimate prize.
We both know that this is our last chance for that national championship. So we're taking this very seriously.
We're not going to be satisfied playing together and losing. We want to be satisfied with playing together and winning.
I want to go out with a bang, get that ring finally. Come back next year, see the team raise the banner, have my name on it, and smile just one more time.
Well, if that's their goal, that if we don't win a national championship, then their whole season and their career has therefore been not fulfilled. I mean, that's a very difficult way to go through life. The all or nothing scenario where if you don't achieve your biggest goal, you are a failure.
What's your goal?
To win a national championship. And the season wouldn't be a success otherwise.
Tonight's game against Sheridan will be a big test for the team. It's early in the season, but tonight's game against Sheridan is important. Another loss at home would be a real setback.
Pick the ball up!
Midway through the first half, Humber jumps out to a 10-point lead.
Forward! Come on, Fitz, get there, Fitz!
But Sheridan goes on a run and climbs back to within a point.
Come on, Rupert!
Along with Chris and Marcel, Cornell Jr. Brown is one of Humber's key players.
Junior's a gifted player. I mean, he's a very good passer when he makes good decisions. He's a tremendous three-point shooter.
Hard, JB, hard, baby!
It's in the other areas that I feel he still has to improve. His work ethic, his defense, sustaining his concentration.
Move it, JB, move!
Hunger-wise, I think I turned that on and off, which isn't good, being that I should be a veteran and I should be hungry at all times.
6 years ago, Junior was one of the best high school players in the country.
My younger brother, well, he was talented from a young age. He had gone out to different tournaments and people were saying, holy, this kid's only 14, 15 years old and he's already doing the things that 19-year-olds are doing. So he's that much ahead. Now, how he progressed after that was going to determine how well he's going to do. And he kept getting better and better and better, so.
No one was surprised when big-time U.S. colleges came calling. For Junior, it meant a chance to realize his dream of playing in front of thousands of fans and appearing on national television.
I walk down the street and people tell me that's JB's brother, instead of the other way around where that's Coach Brown's brother, it's JB's brother, Community-wise, top player means king of the hill.
This is all I can find right now. There's a woman that's going out to school.
Junior accepted a basketball scholarship to a college in Kansas, but a knee injury ended his dream.
And he was disappointed and is disappointed, but he still go on. We were hoping that it would have, taken him further, but these things happen.
After he hurt his knee, Junior came back home. He lives with his mother, his sister, and his nephew.
I always stress education. You have to have an education. It's not all about sports.
Junior enrolled at Humber, but he didn't play basketball his first year at the college.
I was still, I guess, shaken up from what happened to me in America. I was just mad. Came back home. I would look for my friends on TV now and be like, oh my goodness. I could be right there right now, and I'm here at home chilling.
Last year, Humber's coaches convinced him to play again.
They were really on me, like kind of get over it type of thing. He still got enough skill to be playing here and doing well, so I was like, yeah, you're probably right.
I don't know his level of commitment. If he plays well and is committed to what we're trying to do on both ends of the court, then the team, our chances, are enhanced. There's no question about that. I believe that if you made this total commitment, I think you'll enjoy your last season, I mean, you're going to want to do it. I mean, I don't know. I think that it's still worth your while.
With a few minutes to go in the first half, Humber edges ahead.
You're not trading baskets here. We're going to defend like crazy. This is your chance to blow it out here. We'll press if we need it. Let's go. Let's go. Tougher now.
But Sheridan won't go down without a fight. Humber heads to the locker room with a narrow lead. They'll have to step it up in the second half. Chris lives with his mother and his 11-year-old sister. His parents separated when he was an infant. Chris didn't see his father again until he was a teenager.
It was Christmas, and Christopher came to me and asked me, where's his dad? And I told him that, okay, maybe it's time you know your father, And I called his grandmother up and told her that Christopher would like to meet with Robert. And she was very, very happy. And about 5-10 minutes afterwards, she called back and Robert called. And he said, could we come and pick up Christopher? I said, yeah, I think you should. He wants to meet with you.
I was like, yes, I was so happy and I was so excited about it. And then he came and picked me up like 2 days before Christmas, and I spent that whole Christmas with him. And I was there with my little brothers and stuff. And ever since then, ever since that Christmas, it's been this way. They can't get rid of me, and I can't get rid of them.
Robert Lynch is Chris and Marcel's father.
Lucky way. What was the one-on-one?
Chris was upset quite. I'm old, I'm old now. Right. This was Christopher here, about 3 months. About 3 months old. And that's Marcel. Oh, he used to be so fat. But I love him, man. Call him Porky, by the way. That's his nickname, Porky. Because he used to be so chubby, you know.
Chris has a relationship with Robert, but Marcel doesn't.
Looking good?
Marcel lives with his mother, his two younger brothers, and his stepfather, Winston Archibald.
I have a lot of
Winston Archibald, he's my dad. I consider him my dad. He raised me. He came to some football games, some basketball games. It's not who made you, it's who raised you. You know, and Winston raised me to become a better man, so that's my dad.
No squeeze. Donkey. Come again.
Like with me and Chris, we were brothers, but we had to build that relationship up to where I can say, yeah, he's my brother, you know.
I'm happy having him around. It just feels good that we're able to play basketball and get an education and do a lot of stuff together that maybe eluded us as younger children.
How many offensive boards, Doug?
5.
Well, but in the end, it comes down to the war on the boards. Get the glass, get the loose ball, be hungry. They're always hungry, and we're in and out.
This is a game that we need for standings and everything. It's early, but it's not that early. And you have to suck it up, and you got to play better than we did. I don't care what the score is now. I want to see a great second half.
The team explodes at the start of the second half. Within 10 minutes, Humber has a 28-point lead. The big lead allows the coach to put some of his bench players into the game. All the players were stars in high school. They're not used to sitting on the bench.
Do a couple. How would you practice by yourself? This is how I'm teaching you how to practice here.
Earlier in the year, rookie Quentin McLeod spoke to the coach.
Under the ball.
He felt he should be playing more.
Good. That's where you start.
Through my high school, I never really had to take a back seat to anyone. I always proven myself, and right now I find it kind of difficult to make the adjustment.
Coach Cates first saw Quentin play at a community center 3 years ago.
And it's it was a tough pickup game. These kids are very intense, and I remember that Quentin just stood his ground, and he was kind of fearless, and I kind of admired that.
He's got to look at his career at Humber College over 2 and 3 years, and not necessarily right away. But that's not something first-year players can handle easily.
But basketball isn't the only thing on Quentin's mind.
My ultimate goal is to get my chef training, go into the industry and having a full-time job as a chef.
Quentin's girlfriend, Stacy, works part-time at a fast food restaurant. Stacy is finishing high school. She and Quentin rent a basement apartment near Humber.
Going to school full-time and also then being on my own, it's a lot to take on one man's shoulder. I give her support, she gives me support, and basically it's the two of us that make this happen. I couldn't do this by myself.
With 8 minutes to go, a furious Sheridan comeback eats into Humber's big lead.
Call that!
The coach sees the game slipping away.
Timeout! Timeout! Timeout.
Sheridan's comeback is short-lived. The Hawks go on the offensive. And win by a convincing margin. Junior scores 20 points and is selected player of the game. Chris and Marcel combined for 35 points. And their first big win together.
There's just a lot of love. Like, there's a lot of love I just have for him. It just makes me feel real good to have him around me. I know I'm doing good if I have Marcel around me.
For Coach Cates, the day doesn't end with the win. Quentin and Stacy have to leave their apartment. They have 2 days to find a place to live.
Spoke to my dad, and my dad he's not gonna help me at all.
Okay, so go somewhere else. Do you have the money to pay for rent?
Right now, it doesn't seem. I don't have anything for that. I don't know.
And where are you going to stay?
I don't know.
Where's your girlfriend going to stay? Okay, so what you do is by Thursday, you give me every option you have. I think I have some things too that we can help out from this end, and we'll find out what's the best short-term course of action. All right? But go to your class, tell your girlfriend that something's going to work out. So I won't see you tomorrow in practice, but I'll see you Thursday for the meeting right after class in the game. Okay?
Okay.
All right.